Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Success Stories. Nick Bailey here, Chief Customer Officer at Remax World Headquarters. And I have the pleasure of speaking with a third generation real estate agent. And we're going to hear her story all the way from Wadsworth, Ohio. Miss Nicole Frantz, Remax Oasis Dreams. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So you're third generation. You should be interviewing me and telling us how to do this, not the other way around.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny how you see different perspectives as a child growing up versus actually being in the thick of things.
Well, you have a cool story because, we want to just jump right into it.
Sure.
You've been with Remax, but that's not where you started. So
Right.
give us an idea of kind of how you got into this business and how you got here.
Yeah, so my dad was a real estate agent all my life. He did pass away 8 years ago, unfortunately, but he got me into it. I was 16 years old and I was his admin. I was scheduling showings, doing drive-by pictures, that type of thing. And so he ended up getting me into a title company when I was 18. And I worked there for about 5 years, started having kids, stayed home for a while. I actually went back to the title company for a year in between there. Ultimately, the whole time my dad's telling me to get licensed and I'm not listening to him. So I ended up finally, after he passed away, it just didn't make sense to not get my real estate license. I had only been in real estate, the jobs that I had worked. And so it just did not make sense to not get licensed. The flexibility. So 2015, my youngest was 3 months old and I got my license and been working my way up since.
Off you go. So you were with a couple brands before Remax. Yeah. And then how long have you been with Remax?
Just a year, just over a year.
So pandemic hits and you decide life changer, let's go to Remax.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
And you got a call from a broker in your area because were you looking to choose to move at that time or happy where you were at?
I was not. I was content where I was. But the Remax brand had always been in the back of my head because my dad was always a Remax agent.
Go dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, remember, you didn't listen to him. Make sure remember that with your 4 kids if you decide to tell them to get licensed.
Right, exactly. So it had always been in the back of my head, but he actually reached out to me, and I had seen him over the last 6 years build his brokerage up in our community, and I saw all the community involvement, and I absolutely love that, and I just thought it was a no-brainer.
What happened to your business in the last year?
Well, it's basically tripled since I've moved over. So
say that again. It's
basically tripled.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're still busy mom of 4. I mean,
I am.
That's awesome. And you mentioned something to me about kind of what Remax and the brand, what it stands for, but it also gave you freedom because that was important to you with raising the kiddos, but you want to be successful. Tell us about like the freedom of what the brand has meant to your business.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for me. I mean, the ability to, because ultimately it is my business and I want to be able to run it as I see fit and how that works with my lifestyle. And that's why I got licensed to begin with, to have that flexibility. Of course, I also love the sales side of things. It's a totally different side of it. But the flexibility and the freedom to run it as I see fit, and not be bound to having to do floor duty 3 days a week and, things like that. Being able to negotiate commissions if I want to, all of these things were important to me because I think everybody's business is different and they can run it as they see fit. And I just loved the ability to have that freedom.
And you found more of that freedom here than the other 2 places you were before.
Yes, definitely.
Well, we have a saying, I always like to repeat it in Remax, you're in business for yourself, just not by yourself.
Yes.
Let's talk, you mentioned community involvement and that's near and dear to our hearts here as a brand and especially our relationship with Children's Miracle Network, but tell me about, your community involvement and why, because that was a big deal in why you were thinking about Remax. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my broker is highly involved in the community in probably aspects that I don't even know about yet, to be honest with you. He dabbles in everything. They participate in the parade. We have a parade every year and a festival. We have a balloon fest, which is big because
fits right in beautifully.
Right, fit right in. He's sponsored youth sports organizations, among many other things. So very involved in the community. And, I think honestly for me, it was about the ability to grow my business in my community with that and community involvement.
Well, it's always that real estate in the community is good to us, and it's our responsibility to be good back to them.
Yep.
Right? It's a relationship-driven business. Let me ask this. You weren't looking to make a move. Were you nervous to make a change? Especially, we were only a couple months into the pandemic. Everybody was nervous about something, or maybe nervous about something that they didn't even need to be nervous about, or a combination of both. Right. Were you nervous to make a switch?
I wasn't too nervous, aside from, change is always difficult. And then, of course, in the back of my head, I had, heard the rumors about the fees with Remax, and nobody wants to pay their fees. But ultimately, that was easily overcome, and that was a non-issue. So very glad that I decided to make the move. I couldn't be happier.
Do your buyers and sellers wonder what you did or why you went to Remax?
No, they really didn't bat an eye. And I think it's just because Remax is such a reputable brand, and they're the most recognizable brand out there for real estate. And, nobody batted an eye. It was, they knew that ultimately I was going to be the one taking care of them. And that's,
You make it sound so easy. But real estate is not easy, but obviously
not at all.
If you had to do it all over again, would you do it?
Yeah, but I would probably start at Remax first.
Hey, that's okay. We're just glad that Dad instilled that somewhere, and welcome home.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Nicole, congratulations on all your success. Thanks for sharing it with everybody else, and triple your business again next year. We wish you all the very best.
I will. Thank you.